The People's Court, today at 4:30.
It's true, Mike. Raven is home, finally. I can't tell you how relieved I am.
I'm sure you must be, Geraldine. How is she?
Completely exhausted. Mike, she's been through a terrible ordeal, much worse than any of us thought.
How much has she told you?
Not very much, at my insistence. I thought it would be more important for her to get rest and to conserve her strength. She's going to need it in the days ahead.
Of course.
Geraldine, would you mind if I came over there before going to my office? In fact, would you mind if both Nancy and I came over there?
I'm always delighted to see you and Nancy. You know that. I can't guarantee that Raven will be awake. She'll probably sleep until noon, as usual. But under the circumstances, I suppose it's the best thing.
Yes. Well, we'd like to see you anyway.
Mike, I want to talk to you myself. There has been a new development. Something that may be more important to Raven than the practical joke that was played on her.
What do you mean?
Well, you remember my speaking to you about the man who looks so amazingly like Skylar?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, Nancy and I were talking about him just last night. Nancy's quite curious to meet him.
Now, Raven hasn't met him herself. She almost did last night. He telephoned and wanted to come over, but I refused. I thought she'd had quite enough shock to last her for a long time.
I hate to repeat myself, but I don't feel that I have anything to prove to you. So why do you feel you have to prove anything to me?
I do, Valerie. It's important to me.
Why? You've already decided that I was the one who was conspiring against you with Jeff Brown.
Just listen to the tape, please. Tape is blank. I don't understand.
Neither do I.
I've been tricked somehow.
Are you sure I'm not the one who's been tricked?
No. Raven Whitney confessed into this tape recorder tonight. She confessed the fact that she's been living a lie all these months, that she's been calling herself Mrs. Skylar Whitney.
Is it really true?
Yes. The tape is gone. The confession is gone. It's all gone.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Ivory Liquid. Penny for penny, it washes more dishes than an average bargain brand. And by Pampers. America's mothers trust their babies to Pampers Dryness.
I'm financial supervisor of the Watson family. My job's to keep costs down. Your 3 minutes are up, madam. Not easy. Because I want what's right for my family. And that means cushion-quilted Pampers. I've tried bargain brands. Pampers helps keep my Billy a lot drier. And dryness is what I want for my baby.
Look, wet a Pampers and the average bargain brand. Wait a minute. Slip in a blotter. Pampers cushion-quilted lining helps keep babies a lot drier.
Ring, ring. It's for you, Billy.
Tell him to call back. I've got to change him.
Pampers.
They help keep him a lot drier.
Cushion-quilted Pampers helps keep a little baby a lot drier.
I'm 24 years old. So am I.
One of these joggers is not 24. She's 35 with 3 kids. Eileen Wesson. Can you tell who's who? Eileen looks 24. How about their hands? Look closely. They look young, too.
My hands deserve as much attention as the rest of me. That's why I use Ivory Liquid. Just the name Ivory means mildness to me, and I think the rich, mild suds do help my hands stay young-looking, even with all the dishes I do.
Still can't tell who's Eileen?
Yes, I'm the 35-year-old. Jogging helps keep me young.
And what helps your hands look so young?
Ivory Liquid. The mildness really makes a difference.
Mild Ivory Liquid helps hands look young.
Well, it's one kind of burglary for sure, and with the Endicott job, that's two. I think we really got him this time.
Good. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they should keep Vincent Green out of circulation.
Yeah. You know, that guy really should have chosen a different profession. I mean, keeping all that loot in his apartment was just plain stupid.
You know why he kept that stuff?
Because no self-respecting fence would touch it. I mean, old toasters, broken TV sets. This character even had a box of silver plate with the initials of the original owner still engraved in it.
Well, whoever said burglars are smart, I suppose if they were, they wouldn't be burglars.
Yeah. But you know, Chief, there is one thing in this case, just one thing that just doesn't seem to fit.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, now, all of Green's jobs have a certain kind of pattern. I mean, they're always on the ground floor. They're always in low-rent neighborhoods like mine.
Yeah, so?
Well, the Endicott Gallery is on the first floor, but the location is definitely uptown plus.
Maybe he's trying to bring himself up in the world.
Chief, come on. Look, all this guy ever stole was loose cash, watches, jewelry, TV sets, anything he could get some quick cash for on the street. Then all of a sudden, he robs an art gallery. I mean, that is a little peculiar, isn't it?
Yeah, it's peculiar, but I don't know that it's significant.
Yeah, well, maybe, as you say, he was just looking for some culture. But as far as I'm concerned, I think he had that culture thrust upon him.
Yes, Ellen. Yes, I know who that is. Hold on a second. How long will it take you to type up this report?
Maybe half hour.
All right, would you get to it?
Sure.
Send him in. Mr. Diedrichson, I hope you have something good for me.
Chief, I've got the best news. I found Raven. She's at home. She's safe in the mansion.
All right, I'm glad to hear that, and not just for her sake.
Oh, I'm really relieved.
All right, come on, let's have the story. Where was she, and just what does she know about what you clowns were doing to her?
She knows everything. And I think the first order of business is for you to take a patrol car over to the old precinct house.
What do you mean, send a patrol car over there? You knew that place was being demolished.
What?
That place was leveled last night. It's nothing more than dust now.
What? I've got Smiley in that cell where Raven was. Oh, I didn't know.
What is all this?
Well, it's breakfast.
Breakfast?
Yes.
Sorry, I never heard of it.
Well, my father used to say it was the most important meal of the day. Of course, he drove a truck for a company that made breakfast cereal.
Yeah, well, you know, I've always thought that a good old-fashioned breakfast is the best thing in the world, but I just never bothered to make it for myself.
That's a bachelor for you.
What's the matter? You don't like bachelors?
Oh, I love them. There just aren't enough of them.
Well, how many do you need?
Right now, oh, silly boy. One is enough.
Oh, great.
Enough of that. I've got a lot of work in there I've got to do.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
You know, this has never happened to me before.
I bet.
No, I mean, nobody's ever thought enough to, you know, stick around in the morning to make breakfast for me.
Oh, don't kid me, lover. I'll bet you've had girlfriends making you breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You know, Poppy, you sound a little different this morning.
What do you mean?
I mean, slowly but surely, you're beginning to lose that cute little voice of yours.
I don't know what you're talking about, sugar.
Look, how do you like your legs?
Baby,
I don't know.
Oh. How do you like your eggs?
I like mine on a plate.
There you go again. You know, sometimes I think you might be trying to kid somebody. You never use the same voice twice in a row.
Well, a girl's got to improve herself, right, sweetie? I mean, look, I went to night school and everything.
Now, just wait a minute. Hold on. I want you to tell me what this dumb little redhead game you're playing is all about. This is deliberate, isn't it?
Look, Damien, if a girl is smart, she talks and acts the way the people expect her to talk and act. Well, that is if she wants to make a decent living.
I thought women weren't supposed to feel that way anymore.
Some women, maybe. Not Poppy Johnson.
Well, what makes you so different?
Because I was born different. I was raised different. Because I know what I want. And I know what I have to do to get it.
Now, well, tell me, Poppy, just what do you want? For example, what do you think you're going to get out of working for that creep Eddie Lorimer?
Hey, I told you last night. I don't want to talk about Eddie, okay?
Why? Because you're afraid I'll make you realize what a crook the guy is? You already know that.
Look, will you cut it out? I mean, I thought we had a deal. You said that once we
That was last night. This is this morning. It's broad daylight. It's easier to see the truth in daylight, isn't it?
So that's why you wanted me to stay, so you could start in on me again.
Look, we can't pretend that Eddie Lorimer doesn't exist, that he's not a crook, and that he didn't try to frame me.
You know something? I think I'll let you eat alone.
Oh, no, you won't. Just wait a minute. Look, I don't understand. How can you be who you were last night and be this person you are this morning?
Excuse me. I've got to get dressed. I still have a job to go to.
Oh, yeah. It's not just a job, is it? You're not just Eddie Lorimer's secretary. You're his partner in crime.
Like it.
Her first day of school.
I think you're going to like it.
You do what you can to reassure her.
You're going to make a lot of new friends.
You give her lots of love, the best advice. And the orange juice you choose is Minute Maid. You know it's 100% pure, and it always tastes fresh and delicious.
Hi. Hi. I think I'm gonna like it.
America's growing up on the fresh taste of Minute Maid. Make sure, make it Minute Maid.
There was no sign of Wilson's body anywhere? Of course I want you to keep looking. This takes priority. I don't care what the timetable says. If they want to squawk, you have them call me to squawk.
No hope, huh?
If you are hoping for a miracle, forget about it. That place was leveled brick by brick. Wilson never had a chance.
It's 4 lives in this thing. And I'm responsible for this last one.
Oh, Wilson dug his own grave, although I do have to say, you sure handed him a shovel.
I didn't know. All those bulldozers in that lot, they could have been used for excavation.
No, you did what you had to do. Saving Raven was important.
I never would have left him there. I wanted to punish him. I wanted to make him feel like Raven felt when she was in that cell.
All right, look, forget about it. From what you told me, it really wasn't your fault. What I want to know now is about Hector Wilson. We know he died in New York. We know he went there disguised as a policeman. Did this have anything to do with Raven?
Yeah, it had everything to do with Raven. He was after her. And he was using a police uniform because he thought it would open a few extra doors.
It opened the door to Whoopi Thorne's travel agency and to a lot more troubles than he could handle.
Raven told me something interesting. She said that Hector saved her life. That makes him kind of a hero in this thing.
Well, that's something I'll have to ask her about when I see her. Do you know why she came back to Monticello?
She knew the truth, at least part of it.
Now, what do you mean, part of it?
Well, this is going to hurt a little bit, Chief.
Yeah?
It has to do with your wife.
What about my wife?
Well, Smiley picked her up at the airport. And he took her directly to the gravesite to prove to her that she was dead.
Yeah, all right. Maybe I ought to go out there again myself. Maybe then I'll believe she's dead, too.
Libby what she wants.
I'm not about to do that, Spencer.
All she's asking for is a promise that you won't see Valerie Bryson again.
I won't promise that.
Well, then lie to her.
I'm not going to lie either, Spencer.
Well, tell her what she wants to hear. We need that tape back, Skylar. It's all we have.
Maybe if I can see Raven. Maybe if I get a hold of her.
Raven, what for?
Well, she doesn't know that we don't have the confession anymore, that the tape is missing. Maybe I can talk to her. Maybe I can get her to admit it again.
She will not admit it again. You don't know that woman.
Well, we've got to try it, Spencer.
Well, now, look, you either go to work on Libby or you let me do it.
Oh, you're going to get rough with Libby? I mean, she's not an idiot, Spencer. You try doing that, she's going to destroy the tape. Then I'll have nothing. I may as well be dead and buried right next to Jeff Brown. Jeff Brown. Hey, Spencer.
Yes.
You know, I think I may just have a solution here.
Teaching him how to hit a home run, helping her tie a knot. Little things mean a lot.
Little things do mean a lot, so I care about what touches our lives. Like white cloud.
White cloud, Mommy?
It's the softest. Feel. Yes, but there's more to white cloud quality. White cloud's got 2 fluffy sheets. Now, watch how absorbent white cloud is.
Wow.
The most absorbent. 2-ply white cloud is the softest and most absorbent, and that means a lot.
White cloud, because little things mean a lot. White cloud.
Chocolate sauce, soaked in. Motor oil, seeped in. Collis oil, ground in. Unless you clean the dirts that go all the way through, your whole wash isn't clean. That's why we invented Era. Era has the power of cleaners for deep down dirt, for soaked-in grease, for seeped-in oil, for ground-in collis oil. Penetrating cleaners concentrated to put more cleaning power on the stain. Watch Era clean all the way through these 3 layers of tough stains. Put a teaspoon of Era only on the top. Its power penetrates. Rub, run under warm water, and look. Era cleaned all the way through. And when you get the tough stains clean, your whole wash is clean. Era cleans all the way through.
It's an incredible story, Geraldine. But what really concerns me is what's going to happen next.
That concerns me too, my dear.
Now, I don't condone anything that was done to Raven. However, I do know how those people felt when she took the theater away from them.
Come to think of it, didn't you try to intervene on their behalf, Nancy?
Yes, I did. But Raven was so convinced that Gavin Wiley was guilty of murder, I mean, in spite of any evidence.
So the joke did have a practical purpose, to make Raven see the light.
Right. Obviously, they staged something to resemble the situation that incriminated Gavin.
If it were that simple, it might have been easier to forgive.
But it wasn't. It went completely too far.
I must tell you that it is not the joke that is uppermost in Raven's mind. It's something else. Something devastating has taken place. It seems that... No. I shouldn't be telling you this. It's something Raven will have to tell you herself.
Oh, that's a dangerous toy. Why don't you put it away?
Spencer told you to get rid of it, I'm told.
We interrupt our regular program schedule to bring you the following special report from ABC News in Washington. Here is correspondent Frank Reynolds.
Good afternoon. It now appears there has been a shakeup in the government of Argentina following the loss of the war in the Falkland Islands. We're going to call in our correspondent in Buenos Aires, Barry Serafin, right now. Barry, is General Galtieri out?
Frank, that's the word here in Buenos Aires. We started hearing about an hour and a half ago from various sources that General Galtieri would be replaced as Commander-in-Chief of the Army. Since then, there have been a number of announcements on television and radio here in Buenos Aires simply stating that as fact, stating that as the official word from the Army. We're told that General Galtieri is to be replaced tomorrow by General Cristino Nicolaitis, who is the head of the 1st Army Corps, which is based here in Buenos Aires. According to these announcements, General Galtieri is, quote, voluntarily stepping aside. There have been other reports, not nearly as authoritative as these, that the second part of General Galtieri's job, that is the job of President itself, will be filled on an interim basis by the Interior Minister here, Alfredo St. John. as we say, those reports are not as authoritative, certainly not as firm as this one seems to be, that the job of head of the Army will go to General Christino Nicolaitis.
But it does appear definite that regardless of whether he's out of the presidency or not, he's really out of power, isn't it, at this point, if he's being removed as commander-in-chief, Galtieri?
It does indeed appear that way. We've had high-level meetings for the past 2.5 days here, Frank. A lot of military meetings behind closed doors all over town. And apparently this is the result of those meetings, that General Galtieri will be replaced as commander-in-chief of the Army, and that means that the loss of the war in the Malvinas has apparently cost him his job.
Do you have the feeling, Barry, that there's been anything in any way voluntary about this, or is he really being removed, just booted out?
Well, of course, the official word is that it is a voluntary resignation. I think we can all read between the lines in a situation like this.
Yes.
There was certainly no indication the other night when he made his speech, in effect indicating that anyone who dissented from his policy and his plan for the future would be a traitor.
All right, Barry, thank you very much. That's all the time we have. I'm sorry to have to cut you off. General Galtieri, president of Argentina, apparently is out of office after losing the war in the Falklands. He's been removed as commander-in-chief. We'll have a complete report on ABC's World News tonight.
This special report has come to you from ABC News in Washington. We now resume our regular program schedule.
That's a dangerous toy. Why don't you put it away?
Spencer told you to get rid of it, I'm told, but you decided to keep it, I see.
Why shouldn't I? It belongs to me.
Close the door. I said close the door.
Would you please tell me what this is all about?
Well, that's very simple. It's about murder.
Are you mad?
No, I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm not sad. I'm not concerned about life, and I'm not concerned about death. When you go through certain experiences, you end up with that reaction to things. I believe combat veterans must have something like it.
I see. This is a threat, is it? You think you can frighten me into giving you that tape?
The tape, yes, the tape. I hope you still do have the tape. You haven't destroyed it, have you?
You know how you can get it, Sky. Make me that promise.
How do you know that I would be telling you the truth?
I'd know, my darling.
That's what Spencer said, yes.
Give me that thing.
Don't try it. It won't work.
Do you think murder will? Then pull the trigger. Pull the trigger, Sky. Kill me. You think it'll mean that much to me? It won't. You see, I don't care that much about being alive.
You're lying, Libby. You want to live very much.
You're right. But not as much as you do, Sky. And if you kill me, your future won't be much either, will it? Prison life is never much fun, I hear.
Give me that tape.
No, darling. The tape is going with me tonight.
Where are you going?
Back to Switzerland. I'm taking the afternoon flight to Zurich. Unless, of course, you kill me. The choice is yours.
Give me that tape.
No.
All right.
You are mad!
No. I'm not mad. But you were right before. Prison life is unbearable. For women as well as men.
What are you talking about?
What do you think the police will think when they dig the bullet out from the couch and match it with the one that they dig from the body of Jeff Brown? Yes, operator. Get me the police, please. What do you think that the police will do then?
Just in case you're hugged 100 times today. Just in case you don't see eye to eye. Just in case things aren't going your way. You've got your Dial.
Dial, the leading deodorant soap, has twice the active ingredient of the #2 brand. Twice as much for confidence all day long.
Just in case. Aren't you glad you used Dial?
This is the whole grain world. This is the world of Nutri-Grain. Starting now, it's a world for raisin lovers, too. Introducing Nutri-Grain Wheat and Raisin Cereal. The only one with a whole heap of plump raisins, plus flaked whole grain. The bran, the germ, everything, with no sugar added. Welcome to a taste you've never known.
Nutri-Grain, whole grain different.
In new Wheat and Raisins.
Thursday, someone's gone too deep. Someone's unleashed the intruder within. Then, 2020 examines the breakthrough of a courageous doctor and his new hope for the blind. And the special background of rock star Carly Simon and her talented sisters.
Tonight.
Did you speak with her yet?
Yes, I did. She's in packing her bags now for a trip to Zurich.
Skylar, we can't let her go.
Oh, yes, we can. Yes, we can. You see, one of the things that she is not packing is this.
The tape? Oh, thank God she came to her senses.
Yes, that's right.
Sky, regardless of what Libby has done, we wouldn't be where we are without her.
I see that chivalry is not dead.
She worked very hard to get us where we are. She stuck by you. She believed in you even after we discovered there was another Skylar Whitney.
Yes, that's right. She certainly took care of him, didn't she?
She did what she thought was right. She saved that woman's life.
Come on, Spencer. You don't really expect me to feel sympathetic towards her. Raven Whitney is a greater threat to us than Jeff Brown ever was. That's all right. See, I've got her trapped right in here. And now I know that I can solve everything.
Then you will get in touch with me when Raven is ready to talk.
I promise, Mike, but be tolerant. She may need a few days to get her bearings.
Oh, I'm sure there's no hurry right now. Her health is most important.
I agree.
Geraldine, I am very curious about that man, you know, Skylar's look-alike. I wonder, when you hear from him next, could you arrange for me to meet him?
But of course, my dear.
Oh, thank you very much, dear. All right. Honey, don't you think we should be going?
Yes, we should.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you, Geraldine. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I simply couldn't tell them, Raven. I couldn't. Hello?
Mrs. Saxon, it's Spencer Varney.
Yes, Spencer?
I wanted to see how you were. I regret having left you alone in the house.
But I wasn't alone. Raven is back. Back where she belongs.
Yes, I'm glad she's back, Mrs. Saxon, but unfortunately, it's not where she belongs.
What do you mean?
I thought she might have told you by now, but no matter. You'll be hearing the whole story very soon.
What are you talking about, Spencer?
Your nephew, Skylar Whitney, is coming to pay you a visit.
Honey, should rice be black?
Mama, I'm bringing the whole team home for your chicken.
Was the meal a little greasy?
No.
You can always count on SOS, because no matter how dirty, greasy, baked, or burnt your pots and pans get, nothing cleans them faster or easier than a super grease-cutting SOS soap pad.
Has anyone seen the roast?
SOS, it's crazy to cook without it.
Why is America frying with pure Western oil?
Crispy outside.
But juicy inside. That's why I fry with pure Western oil.
Crispy outside, but juicy inside.
That's why I fry with pure Western oil. No oil is purer than Western, so nothing gets in the way of that crispy, juicy taste.
Crispy outside, but juicy inside. Crispy. Juicy.
That's why America fries with pure Western oil.
Tomorrow, Clayton and Krause follow Benson's lead into the stock market and end up with empty pockets. And on Making a Living, the girls learn to use tear gas as self-defense and end up in tears themselves. Then a rebellious teenager leaves home but learns that independence has its price. Freedom, starring Emmy winner Mare Winningham, the ABC Friday night movie.
Tonight on ABC's World News Tonight, Israel continues to surround the PLO. Can a settlement be reached? Will the U.S. become involved in negotiations? Plus, 10 years after Watergate, is Richard Nixon planning a comeback? ABC News, uniquely qualified to bring you the world.
This delicious cherry contains nothing artificial, just like Breyer's ice cream. Breyer's, the all-natural ice cream since 1866.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ernie Anastas. Coming up today on the 5 o'clock Eyewitness News, strong words from President Reagan at his speech at the United Nations today. A shakeup at the top for the Argentine military, and how Richard Nixon spent the 10th anniversary of Watergate. Also coming up today, what women are doing to make themselves as beautiful as any woman in history, and what it all costs. And the Annie gets lots of heart and gets closer to the stage. Coming up today, 5 o'clock. Join us then.
You put a lot into it, and Holly Farms helps you do it. Then it comes together like you knew it would.